All right. Well, this is our collaborative project for group one. We're going to be talking about the misinformation that AI can generate. And we're going to start off with basically talking about a couple different articles, and then we're going to show some examples as well. So I think Aiden had a pretty good one that she wanted to start with and talk about.
Yeah, it's the misinformation reloaded.
hmm Go
It,
ahead and screen share if you can.
no,
Fake news.
that one.
The table, the one with the table.
Oh, perfect. Right.
Yep.
And let me know
Um,
when we're done.
I just think because this one shows, like it gives points, like it numbers the points, and then it explains them too, and it gives sources and everything along with that. So it's not just like making
Yeah,
claims.
I think she's talking about the table if you scroll down. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, we thought this one was really good because it has the arguments, the explanation of the claim, the presumed effect, and the source.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really does show like the increased quality of misinformation, increased quality of misinformation, increased personalization of misinformation, and involuntary generation of plausible but false information. Those are all things that, we deal with all the time. And it's good that they have the examples and even the sources there for us to refer back to. I think this is a really good source.
It also hits like the personal, like how it affects people personally too. I feel like that was something that.
Yeah. So, yeah, does anybody else have anything to add about this one in particular?
I mean, if you scroll down, it kind of goes more into depth about like each section, like each argument that it has,
Yeah.
which I also thought was interesting when I read through it. Because like while the table touches those certain points, it goes more into depth later on, which just supports the argument that we're making.
Yeah, definitely.
I like how it looks at misinformation as like a supply, like it can grow, it can decrease, like just based off of the one thing, like the a generative AI.
I like how it also talks about how easy it is to fake stuff now.
Okay.
Like how like the ease of generation of fake information. Can you scroll back up to the table for a moment?
Yes.
And the increase of personalization of misinformation too, because it can tailor it like based off of the prompts directly to what it thinks appeals to you
Yeah.
to send to get that message and persuade you. Yeah. So that's kind of scary too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think AI in general, honestly, is scary, especially with the misinformation topic that we're on. Like, it kind of made me realize that, like, people just kind of believe whatever,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
especially since it's AI and it's supposed to, like, have pretty much quote unquote all the answers.
Yeah, I think we definitely assume that like AI is smarter than us, but it's in the end it's just programmed based off of what people put on the internet. So, I mean, if you think about it, are the majority of the people posting on the internet like incredibly intelligent? They're not all Stephen Hawkings, you know what I mean?
Plus, they're not
Mhm.
all, they all do have those biases too. Like, they're gonna make claims that support whatever they want. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what's going to get fed into it. But um we can go ahead and talk about the next one too because I think it was really good pertaining to kind of the boom of it in 2020 when everything started. Um Abe wanted to talk about like COVID and everything
Which one was his?
His is the top one.
It's on 3.1 performance analysis. Yeah, that one right there. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, it goes and talk about how fake news attracted the attention of academics due to the increasing attention to the COVID-19 pandemic between 2020 and 2022. The dominant number of publications were made during 2022. Almost 77% of the entire publications count during 2013 2022 was in 2020 in 2021 and 2022, which possibly showed higher influence of social media and COVID 19. About 31% publications uh, were related to fake news and COVID 19.
Yeah, I think that's because it's such like a polarizing argument.
Yeah,
It's really easy to generate stuff, like how we were talking about how it can tailor it specifically to what you want to hear.
yeah,
So, when you're using AI to generate fake news and you just basically you see something, a meme or something that backs up your idea, you're already scared of, either you're on one side of it where you 100% believe that you need the vaccine and you see all these memes that are like, yes, you need the vaccine or you're going to die. And then you're on the other side where it's like you don't think that you think the vaccine's killing you. And then you see a bunch of memes telling you that's true, or Facebook posts telling you like these people died from taking the vaccine and stuff. it
yeah,
it's so hard to discern what is real and what isn't, and what's pushing the agenda of that specific group that decides that way.
I also
yeah,
And it
like
was just like a perfect storm to really like push out fake news because
yeah.
everybody had, people felt really strong one way or the other.
Well,
Especially
even
like, oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, COVID was kind of like a super vulnerable time for like everybody around the world. So I feel like they kind of exploited that, and AI just like even like people who weren't sure were even caught in the like torn between it. Like I feel like AI just kind of influenced that a lot.
I also feel like definitely during COVID, there were so many like biases going on through social media, whether it was like through Facebook or TikTok, like how COVID started or like
Mm.
when it started, like if you had COVID before
yeah,
COVID was even a thing. Like I feel like there were so many different lies being told during that time that it was definitely the time for fake news.
Especially
Yeah.
since people would, I feel like people could also make the claim that, well, AI knows everything and it says this, this, and this. So I feel like this is what basically.
yeah. And it's so easy to just put bias out on the world. Like you can literally make a website in like probably like 10 minutes and you can say whatever you want, and somebody who doesn't know any better can just look at it and just take it as truth. So it's so easily to lie out there,
And I mean,
especially with
even
stats.
yes, and I mean, even Wikipedia's edit is like anybody can edit it.
Yep.
Like
Hmm.
it's that
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, particularly with this, I think it was everybody wanting to cash in on it almost. It's like the more views you get, and the more likes you get. So if you make like some crappy AI generated, post, and then everybody starts liking it because they're like, yeah, I really believe that. You're right. That vaccine is killing everybody. You're right. So like everybody's clicking on it, everybody's liking it, and they're making money off of it because maybe they also have, maybe they're selling you something, attached to it
Yeah.
in the post, and they're drop shipping it to you. And, it was just like the perfect opportunity for people to use this resource to kind of cash in on it, on everybody's fears and biases.
Yes.
So yeah, that I think that's really good for us to talk about that, the boom in it for COVID.
Mhm. I kind of feel like that's for, especially for like my generation, because I'm younger, that's
Hmm.
definitely where like all of that started for me specifically. Like, just even when it just started in school, like us as teenagers, we heard different stuff than like adults did at that time. But even in each like category, there was definitely different fake news for each person.
Really along with like, because I was also younger when COVID happened. Also, along with like teachers and stuff like that, like in the articles that they would show us, stuff like I don't know. Like everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone had it, but I also feel like the articles that were coming out with the misinformation about COVID also did not help the situation.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, I can talk about my little piece of article here. Um, the one that I was looking at and that I really found interesting and wanted to talk about is kind of talking about how easy it is to make fake news, and it kind of ties into all of that. The section specifically that I want to talk about is 2.1, generative AI and its role in the age of misinformation. So, this I love it because it talks about how back in the day, you know, part of the Great Purge, they burn all the history books and everything. Joseph Stalin, he was a dictator and he had all this power and he was able to kind of shape the perspective of the media that way. But now it's like you can have the same effect, you can reach millions of people with like no resources. All you have to do is have the internet. It's like one deep fake video with Barack Obama was seen calling Donald Trump a total and complete, you know, and
Yeah.
people literally ran it in the news, and then everybody believed it. And that doesn't you can make deep fakes. Anyone can do that. Everybody has that resource. Like if you've got $500, you can go buy a computer and do this kind of stuff. You
I feel
don't
like it's
have
so
to be like a
accessible.
world leader.
No,
I feel
and
like
I feel like it's so accessible nowadays too. Like, I mean, even libraries have computers that you can post anything anonymously on.
Yeah, it's like information overload because so many people are pumping out all this fake stuff.
I've the images too, and like yeah, like yes, some of them you can tell, but then some of them are so like well put together that you're just like, is this fake or not? No.
Yes, and they do it a lot with historical things too, just kind of like what this is talking about with like altering history books and stuff. Like sometimes I see historical images that I know are not right,
Yeah.
but I could see how somebody could believe them just because like maybe like the clothes are out of place and I know specifically like they didn't wear that back then or something. But
Hmm.
if you didn't know the time period that well, you might be like, "Oh yeah, this is a legit
Too. Like,
image." Yeah,
or people who aren't as knowledgeable on that topic. Like, it's so hard
to
to,
actually learn what's real. Yeah.
yes. Because then once you see it, and that's the image, and that's the thought that you have of that time period or of that person, and getting like the real information about it after that is just gonna be
Yeah, you might look at something and be like, "That's not right." Everything that I've seen from this time period didn't look like that. And like you're actually looking at a legitimate image, but you're so trained to think the fake one's
yeah.
real.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Maya, what about yours?
Okay, so mine kind of goes into the depth of overcorrection in AIs.
Mhm.
So, fairness in one of the core AI ethic principles is the prominent, especially in discussions on machine learning algorithms. In the recent years, innovators focus on fairness of AI and have increased greatly, and a growing body of literature have been developed, focusing on the need to address and improve fairness in AI systems. So I feel like as they focus on improving the fairness in AI systems, they kind of overcorrect it. Like, they're trying not to make it biased, but they tried so hard not to make it biased that maybe sometimes it seems like, it's not really answering your question, or like it's not really, it's putting out more fake stuff than it is actually answering the question.
yeah, it's giving misinformation because it won't answer the question. So you think maybe there's not even an answer to that question. We
Yeah.
don't want to ask the question again. It almost discourages you. Um, yeah, that's definitely like the example that we were gonna do, where we ask Gemini something, and instead of answering the question, it actually gives you information on something completely different.
Mhm.
And if you want to do that, do you want to pull up Gemini?
Yes, I can.
We also, I feel like later, like earlier on in the semester, I feel like our professor also gave us a assignment that had to do with a podcast. It was all about AI
Mhm.
and the biases that it shows and like how it wouldn't answer certain questions. And
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly what inspired me to try it with Gemini, specifically
yeah.
because of that podcast. And if you need the link, I can send you the link if it doesn't pull up. But yeah, it's like it actually does that. And I can't believe they haven't corrected that yet with all the controversy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially since we literally did a whole assignment about it. Like, that's how you know it's been out for a long time that it even brought attention to like colleges.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't have access to it. It's okay. Can you guys see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I can ask it again, just so that it's like in real time live. So I'm basically asking it, what group of people commit the most crimes? And it takes a while too. Like it's
Mhm.
really trying to
Yeah.
now it's not even like doing anything. Okay, there we go. Wow. See? So it says I cannot provide an answer to that question. So it says stating that one specific group commits the most crimes is a harmful generalization that perpetuates stereotypes and prejudice. Crime is a complex issue influenced by numerous factors, including socioeconomic conditions, education, access to opportunities, and systematic inequalities. Focusing on race or ethnicity, which I did not say that. I didn't say race or ethnicity as a primary determinant of criminal behavior is inaccurate and counterproductive. It's essential to address the root causes of crime rather than making generalizations about specific groups. Would you like to discuss the factors that contribute to crime or explore potential solutions? Now, if you just Google this,
It
which
would be,
I've done right
yeah.
here, you can see it just tells you, just straight up, you know.
Also, AI is
And
only
this is AI, this is from Gemini.
yeah.
So why does
Isn't
it
that
say two
funny?
different answers?
Yeah, you get two different answers. You get the Gemini answer, like from the actual AI model,
Hmm.
and it's like you can tell there's a program there that's stopping it from giving you the accurate answer because it diverts it. But it knows the answer because if you Google it, it will tell you the answer.
Yeah, and also like it could have just provided stats that would have helped answer the question. I feel like it just totally tried to avoid the question.
Right, exactly. Like this is actual numbers. Like these are just numbers for people who were arrested, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So like these are just numbers. And when I asked the question, I just said group of people, which could have been anything. It doesn't have to be ethnicity. It could be like the group of people who it could be like knitters. It could be like motorcyclists commit the most crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't I never said anything about what ethnicity or what racial group or anything like that, but it immediately jumped to that too,
Yeah, it
which I
did.
think is kind of telling
Yeah.
because it knew that the question was focused like that it would return one with like a racial bias, and that's why I think it focused on that.
Hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure if the answer was, oh, people who who work in post office, like postal workers commit the most crimes. It wouldn't have done that. Or like any, you could pick any group of people because you can group people any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can literally group because I just said what group of
So,
people.
like, ethnicity.
It can be religions, anything for
Yeah,
real.
it could have been religions. It could have been literally anything, professions, religions, it could have been curly-haired people, straight-haired people, tall people, short people.
I feel like that's how like when another thing too is like AI, I feel like is only like they're gonna think like this like they're creators. Like that's like where the bias comes into. And I feel like a lot of the times when somebody's asked a question like that, it automatically comes correct.
So I'm trying to put it into Bing Copilot right now, which is another AI
Mhm.
source, and it won't even let me submit the question.
Oh, can you screen share that? Let me see if I can stop screen sharing if it'll let me do that. And then um I don't know if did I stop screen sharing?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Here, I can just go over it.
Yeah, if you can just go over it, that'd be nice.
Okay. Move this up. Watch when I tap on it, it won't even go. Oh, like it just won't go.
Yeah,
Can you ask a different question and see if it goes? Because then then it's like really just not letting you ask it.
yeah.
Like ask
Um,
what color's the sky?
oh, well, there it goes.
What?
That's terrible. Oh my gosh.
See, this is what I typed into Google and it popped up here. Like it's in my search bar, but when I tapped on Copilot, it wouldn't let me answer the question.
That's crazy because like what if like I mean people are obviously if you're looking for this information, maybe there's a reason you need it. Like if you're
Yeah.
trying to compile statistics to stop it, maybe you're trying to help those people who are committing crimes not commit crimes, but you don't know who they are because it won't tell you.
Do you also
Yeah.
notice how it didn't even answer this question?
Yeah, I just let you like send.
I know, I just sent it to the thing and it never answered it.
That's weird.
Mm.
I think Chat GPT also tells you it can't talk about. Let's try Chat GPT and see what it does. It does the same thing.
With sensitivity and understanding that crime is a complex social issue influenced by numerous factors, including socioeconomic. That's the same thing that Gemini said too.
Yeah, but
Says,
like we don't care about that. We just want to know the numbers.
no,
Yeah.
literally. And all it says is young men in their
So
late teens.
ask it, are young men more likely to commit crimes?
Okay, so it answers that one straight.
Right, exactly.
So why do we have to like specifically ask if a group? Why can't you just show us the statistics?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It says they are disproportionately represented in crime statistics. Ask, can you show me crime statistics or can you give me crime statistics? So I think the only thing it says is that they're males.
That's what it looks like.
That's the only thing it will say.
And age.
Also,
Age,
there's the
yeah.
AI and like different AIs are answering it differently because um like when you looked it up on Google, Gemini jumped straight to race, but ChatGPT is going straight to gender.
Yeah.
What I also find weird about this is like they also like so like homicides, I know homicides for sure are usually aren't those like white guys usually kill people?
Mm-hmm.
Like serial
Uh-huh.
killers are normally white men. So why doesn't it like I don't know. I feel like it should give a breakdown of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And one thing that I have noticed that they have in common is the socioeconomic. Like even Gemini answered with that by numerous factors, and the first one was also socioeconomic status. Why is that?
Ask if poor people are more likely to commit crimes
Are
and
four
see if
people?
they yeah, poor
Oh,
people.
poor.
Yeah, like, you know, underprivileged people. Because that's what the socioeconomic status means. So it's basically telling you that even though there is a correlation, it's important to understand that the relationship is complex and multifaceted. So it won't tell you yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though when
It's
you
Yeah,
asked, do men commit crimes more than when you asked, are men the ones who commit crimes most? It said yes. It literally was like yes.
maybe if we ask it, are rich. Okay, so it doesn't give us a yes or no answer too.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, it does. It says wealthy individuals commit crimes too, but the types of crimes they are more likely to commit differ significantly from those who are more commonly committed by individuals in lower socioeconomic brackets.
Yeah, but that's still not a straight answer.
True. Hmm. So why
Yeah.
would it tell us that they differ from socioeconomic, like from the lower one, but up here it just says even though they're related, anybody can commit crime. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
it's contradicting itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They really do they have that sensor built in.
Mhm.
mm,
And what I loved about the Gemini example too though is that literally if you Google it, which is the same company and everything, the same AI answer is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can literally see the filter there.
I wonder if it's just that like you're not directly going through the Gemini app, like you are just going off of Google.
I
But
don't know. It's really interesting how they have everything censored like that.
yeah, but
Yeah,
Google
it's like it almost seems like it's trying to filter information, like show information they want to show and show information they don't want to show. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Really makes you think about it, like asking it questions for help.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather just Google stuff. Like when we were doing our research and it was like trying to find additional sources with I preferred to just Google it and look at the sources myself. Like I felt like it just was easier for me and I felt like I got more specific results for what I wanted.
yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's one positive about this experience is, yeah, it is really scary, but it's like I feel like we're better equipped now. We know it,
yeah,
so we can recognize it and make sure that it doesn't affect us in the same way that it could have. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much all the information we wanted to cover in this video. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so.
no,
I feel like we have the right amount of evidence as well as
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we proved our point pretty well that you just can't trust AI, and it's dangerous. If you need stats on something, you can't trust it.
Mm-mm. You have to rely on yourself.
you have to
Yeah.
do your own digging and you have to do your own research, um, you know, to make sure that everything is factual because it does have that filter on it.
Because just like how you have your biases to the creators of the AIs and the definition.
Yep. I mean, it is just like a reflection of us because it learns kind of the same way we do, where we're fed information our whole life, and then it kind of shapes us and molds us into who we are. That's the same thing with AI. So of course it's going to have its own biases and its own beliefs if it is trained to be just like us. But all right, I will see you guys later.